Okay, I'm going to apologize up front right now for the camera motion, because I don't have software that lets me do this. I have to do this manually, and I'm holding the camera with my hand, so I might shake a little bit. I'm sorry about that. This is the requirements from the power company I'm buying my power from. This is what they require for grid-tied in power. If you're going to do grid-tied power, you have to follow the rules that they're giving here, this company. I don't know where you guys get your power from, but maybe they don't require this. You might live in different countries, but whatever. It might be somewhat the same as this. But this is the main reason I don't go out and buy just a Chinese-made grid-tied inverter and plug it into my solar panels. So they got some requirements here. The drawings are down here, and they show a basic setup here. And this is not exactly what I have, the way I have my setup. As far as from the solar panels to this right here, and I'm charging a battery. There's safety involved. There's disconnect switches, and then there's a metering before that, and there's another disconnect switch here. At the circuit, there's an extra circuit panel and a meter, and a cutoff circuit here, and then another shut off. More circuits to shut the power off, and it has to be accessible by someone that works for the utility. This is the power requirement also, the way it has to be hooked up. Anyhow, let me know what you think about this. Is it, because I see a lot of you guys out there, you use, or you have used, I've seen in your videos, a grid direct from the solar panel to plugging it into the wall from a device. You're not having to charge batteries, you're just directly, or you have a feature optional switch that allows you to switch over to the to either the grid power or just the solar power. And for management of your power and actually using power more efficiently, this is a lot better than the way I have it. Ideally, you'd want your system to be tied to the grid, if you can. If you have that, if they let you do that with that cheap equipment, and they allow that, then that's great. And if I could have somebody come out and help me that lives in the area here, that won't charge an arm and a leg, that might give me some advice. I would hire them as on a contract to help me set up my system so it can be compliant with this. But and the last one of the times somebody helped me out, they took advantage of me, my generosity. I was a little bit too lenient in what I required. I kind of like, well, we agreed to do it one way, and he changed his mind, and it was to not do something, and I didn't ask him to take that off of the price for the work he was doing for me. So in a way, I feel like since I've lived in this house, as people have overcharged me for things, if I've like called them in the yellow pages or whatever. But I would really want to hire a professional electrician that lives in this area, and they could help me set my system up to where I am. It's being more profitable for me. It's producing more. Economically, it's more viable for me to have this, to set my system up like this. Any help and advice out there would be appreciated. And I know that you guys are real smart. You know you've done this before lots of times. And I'm just new at this. I'm not a professional electrician. I'm just doing this as a hobby. And if you have knowledge about this and you work for this company, then maybe I can hire you for a day, and you could come out and give me advice and look the system over and give me pointers, and give me maybe a bill of materials of things I need to get or purchase, and then show me how to hook them up properly. And I would probably I would probably more than happy if it was a reasonable cost. If the upfront cost didn't cost me too much money, I'd be more willing to pay for this, to have this done to my system, to make it, you know, so it's all done properly and to code, and I'm meeting all the requirements for any kind of legal requirements, or safety, actually, mostly for safety. Anyhow, so I know a lot of you out there, you're probably wondering, why don't I tie it to the grid? You know, why don't I get a grid-tied inverter and do that? So just thought I'd share this with you guys out there. I'm sure you guys are more professional and have a lot more experience doing this than I have. Maybe you can help me out. Thanks. Bye.